That's funny, it's like having your grammar corrected even though you're only a teddy bear. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Bench's Book Reviews. What's in the box today? It is a lovely little blue book called When We Were Very Young by A. Milne. Now this, as you may know, is a collection of poems. I will not be reading all of those. I'm going to read one. Do I have a table of contents? I do, meaning that I can navigate very swiftly to... let's try... let's navigate to the poem called... There's one about a king that I wanted to do. Let's see, not that one. This one, here we are. This is the one. Teddy bear. Teddy bear. I believe the teddy bear is this one. And may notice looks a bit like Winnie the Pooh, but this is pre-Winnie the Pooh. This is a bit like Mario, whose video game debut was in Donkey Kong, as you may be aware, the original arcade Donkey Kong. But he wasn't called Mario there, it was just called Jumpman. So this is almost like Winnie the Pooh was called Jumpman. So here we go, teddy bear. A bear, however hard he tries, grows tubby without exercise. Our teddy bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. He gets what exercise he can by falling off the ottoman, but generally seems to lack the energy to clamber back. Now, tubbiness is just the thing which gets a fellow wondering, and Teddy worried lots about the fact that he was rather stout. He thought, if only I were thin, but how does anyone begin, he thought. It really isn't fair to grudge me exercise and air. Grudge, I think, meaning like begrudge. I'm not sure if this teddy bear can walk around, because by falling off the ottoman, I would suggest he just falls off because he's an inanimate object, but maybe he will become animate in the next stanza. For many weeks he pressed in vain his nose against the window pane, and envied those... There's a mirror there, but I guess they mean a window. And envied those who walked about reducing their unwanted stout. That's using stout as a noun, which is nice, because it was used as an adjective earlier. And it's walked about, and before it was worried about. So different uses of about, even though it's technically the same word. Reducing their unwanted stout. None of the people he could see is quite, he said, as fat as me. Fat? That's almost like the saying that being stout is a bad thing. Implication. Then, with a still more moving sigh, I mean, he said, as fat as I. That's funny, it's like having your grammar corrected even though you're only a teddy bear. Self-correcting, though. I guess he's been told so many times. I think as fat as me. It's fine, nowadays. Now Teddy, as was only right, slept in the ottoman at night. See, he was just called Teddy. He doesn't have a name like Winnie the Pooh yet. Slept in the ottoman at night, and with him crowded in as well more animals than I can tell. Not only these, but books and things, such as a kind relation brings, old tales of once upon a time, and history retold in rhyme. History retold in rhyme. One night it happened that he took a peep at an old picture book. Hyphenated picture book, which is odd, but anyway. Wherein he came across by chance this picture... wherein he came across by chance the picture of a king of France. A stoutish man, stoutish. And down below these words, King Louis so-and-so. In the picture you can actually see it's Louis the 13th, or possibly 16th. Nicknamed the Handsome, there he sat, and think of it, the man was fat. Our bear rejoiced like anything to read about this famous king, nicknamed Winnie the Pooh can't read, canonically. But this is probably extra canonical because, as I say, he's not actually Winnie the Pooh yet. It's just the inspiration. Nicknamed the Handsome, there he sat, and certainly the man was fat. Nicknamed the Handsome, not a doubt, the man was definitely stout. Why then, a bear, for all his tub, might yet be named the Handsome Cub. There's nice body positivity. Love a bit of that. Might yet be named, or did he mean that years ago he might have been? For now he felt a slight misgiving. Is Louis so-and-so still living? Fashions in beauty have a way of altering from day to day. Is handsome Louis with us yet? Unfortunately, I forget. As if it's a history book, it could be a bygone king. Next morning, nose to window pane, the doubt occurred to him again. One question hammered in his head. Is he alive, or is he dead? Thus nose to pane he pondered, but the lattice window, loosely shut, swung open. With one startled, "Oh, our Teddy," capitalized, so that's his name, Teddy. It's not just like our bear. Our Teddy disappeared below. There happened to be passing by a plump man. Plump means stout, basically, but a synonym here. With a twinkling eye, who, seeing Teddy in the street, raised him politely to his feet, and murmured kindly in his ear soft words of comfort and of cheer. Well, well, allow me, not at all. Tut, tut, a very nasty fall. He's probably quite soft, though the teddy bear doesn't hurt himself. Our Teddy answered not a word. It's doubtful if he even heard. Our bear could only look and look. The stout man in the picture book. That handsome king, could this be he? This man of adiposity. It's a very nice word for, just means like obesity, fatness. Impossible, he thought, but still, no harm in asking. Yes, I will. Nice brave bear. Are you, he said, by any chance, His Majesty the King of France? The other answered, I am that, bowed stiffly and removed his hat. He's not wearing a very kingly regalia, but that's okay. Then said, excuse me, with an air, but is it Mr. Edward Bear? Teddy means Edward, actually. Never thought of that. I think the original Teddy is short for Theodore, but Teddy Sheringham, I think, is actually called Edward. But is it Mr. Edward Bear? So this is Teddy Bear. It's quite clever. I've read this thing a million times and never realised that. There you go. And Teddy, bending very low, replied politely, even so. That's just an old-fashioned way of saying yes, I guess. They stood beneath the window there, the king and Mr. Edward Bear, and handsome, if a trifle fat, talked carelessly of this and that. Then said his Majesty, well, well, I must get on, and rang the bell. Your bear, I think, he smiled. Good day, and turned and went upon his way. So the bear needs bringing back into the house and needed help standing up, but he can do a bit of moving around. I guess it's kind of like Toy Story when the kids aren't there. The bears can think and read and things. A bear, however hard he tries, grows tubby without exercise. This is the last verse. It's certainly repeating some of what was in the first verse. Grows tubby without exercise. Our teddy bear is short and fat, which is not to be wondered at. But do you think it worries him to know that he is far from slim? No, just the other way about. He's proud of being short and stout. Well, that's lovely. That's a lovely part. I mean, it's a very nice message that you can be handsome, even when stout. I like the way he's called Edward Bear. It's like a posh form of teddy bear, or formal rather than posh. Nothing posh about the name Edward. I guess it's a royal name. And then he meets the king. I don't know if that really is the king, or if the king is the bloke is just humouring him, but it doesn't seem to have done anyone any harm. Lots of lovely rhymes, as you might expect. Size, exercise. It scanned very nicely. I just tripped up once when I said history instead of history, but other than that, it was perfect. Nice little illustrations as well. So, top-notch poem, that. And I believe, well, we know, don't we, that bear goes on to great things. I do a full review of Winnie the Pooh if you want to check that out. Also a short one of the introduction, where they talk about how Edward Bear's name gets, how he becomes Winnie the Pooh. So do read that if you want. Watch it. And otherwise, I shall see you again for another of Mr. Bench's book reviews. Goodbye.